around the world. All right. One thing, I had a good question. When I pull this elbow, if I'm trying to get underneath it, I don't just sit out and come right back to the same position. He's just going to pull the elbow right back down again. All right. If I'm going to bother sitting through the scarf, I want to use it, okay, to attack him, get into a better position, advance my position. So my top knee doesn't move. It's right underneath his shoulder. I'm actually lifting his arm and rolling him away to get him off his back facing away from me. You see? His hips aren't going to be as easily engaged. His shoulders aren't flat on the ground. He's only got one arm to defend himself now. Make sense? So now when I go for my Americana, he's all bundled up. He's got to smell my pits. Okay, I haven't showered yet today. And everything's a lot tighter. Can't even get his hand to the ground then. Make sense? So if you're gonna bother sitting out to a scarf, use it. And he's gonna try to, wiggle himself away and get his back, turning his hips. But while he's doing that, he's not thinking about me ripping his shoulder off. And when he does, oh shit, he's got to straighten his arm. Boop, I go out to my straight arm. Okay? I'm curling those wrists. And if I still don't get it, and he turns his thumb all the way down, right? Down. There you go. All right, now I can't finish this. So I'm gonna move to the next attack. Okay, so as he starts to bend his arm, I'm gonna put my head right in his armpit and let him bend his arm. I slide my elbow out, or my hand out, grab his wrist, and control it on the ground. Mind you, my head is still there. I'm not picking it up. I'm just doing that so you guys can see what's going on. I'm making a frame on his body, pinning his arm to the ground. Okay, my head is in there. My butt might come up a little bit, but I want to try to avoid it as much as possible. I'm gonna take that other hand, slide it right under his tricep, boop, and then down to his elbow. Walk it down as much as you need to. Okay? And then I lock my wrists. Starting to lock up a Kimura. I want to be down as tight to his elbow as I can. The higher I am, the bigger the muscles I'm dealing with. I want to attack his elbow. Okay? When I walk underneath there, boop, got control. My head was down to pin it. I can keep it down, or I can lift my head up. Either way. But I'm going to start lifting my elbow up in the air. Okay? Trying to keep as much weight on his chest as I can. There are a number of different variations where I can step over the head or lift him up on top of his hand. But why bother with that? If I have enough pressure with my chest and I can keep his shoulder locked, when I start rotating here, it should put pressure on his shoulder. Make sense? I'm not picking him up where he can come with me. The higher I can be, the better. All right? And I'm lifting his shoulder. Cool? If you're having a hard time with that, you can't do it or they're too flexible, then I'm going to step over the head. Windshield wiper my feet, step over the head, and I can start turning him away. I still want to stay as low as possible. I don't want to just posture straight up where he can explode into me.
Just say one more time.
Yeah? You cool?
I'm good. You want me to switch arms?
No. Okay. So I'm starting that same position. Again, the higher the better. Inside, attack that Americana. Oh shit, he sees it coming, he straightens his arm. I can't get it, he was too fast, too strong, too manly, turns his thumb down. I'm going to catch him with my head. We can hang out here all I want. All right, if he tries to straighten his head back to his thumb back to his head, right, and go the other way, I'm ready to catch him, go back to my first two. So I can transition between all three of these. Head's on the ground, pull that hand out and plant it. Get control. I don't want my elbow up on him where he can start grabbing onto stuff. Use that frame so he can't get the arm through. Sliding underneath, pull his skin out if I have to. All right, and I want to be out as tight to the elbow as I can. Heavy chest. All right, pinning his shoulder as much as possible. I can pull up a little bit if I need to. If I don't, that's fine too. And I rotate. If I still can't get it, he's too flexible. Windshield wiper the feet. Start walking over the head. And lift his shoulder. All right, I'm lifting the elbow, not the shoulder. I know I just said the opposite, but I'm trying to attack that elbow. It will attack his shoulder, but the elbow is what actually moves. All right, it locks up real quick. Be ready for it. Don't just rip on it.
So when you have them in a Kimura, and what if they turn their wrist back, and do you just go back, reposition to Americana or an armbar? So yeah, you have that.
Yeah, he straightens it back out.
Okay.
Right back to the same position. And if he turns the thumb all the way over, elbow in his ear, flip my hand over.
And then slide underneath.
Then I'm right back to it. Okay. Yep, so I just walk through all three of these, letting him pick which one and getting more and more tired. And especially with bigger, stronger people, they're going to be able to muscle out of it a couple of times. But as long as I maintain my position, I don't have to try to chase them. I'm just ready for the next one. And every time they try to do something, they're getting a little bit more tired. It's like we were talking about with the mount before. I walk up, they pull their arm down. I walk up, they pull their arm down. It's like doing a pull-up. Eventually you hit that wall where your muscles just don't work anymore. Okay? Unless you're Billy, then you can go pro. Pull-ups for days. All right, 1, 2, 3.